Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Aviation, your commentator today for this witness rehearsal of Skybound. We apologise for the stream issues. We just had some OBS issues here. Everything should be sorted out now as we count down from 15 minutes to this wet dress. Everything appears to be going nominally so far. You can see that frost line on the vehicle there. That is because the cold propellants in the tank meeting the warm air. The liquid oxygen is filled on both stages with the RP1 loading now.
Proxima TVC checkouts are underway.
And there we heard a call about the Proxima TVC checks, meaning those engines are gimbaling there to make sure they perform normally in flight, so we do not have any issues where the gimbal were to fail, and the vehicle would not be able to orientate itself and basically most likely crash itself into the ground. So here we are, T-minus 14 minutes on the count. We have had no holds so far, and everything is looking good. This is the second to last test in the pre-launch campaign of Skybound Flight 2, where we have the wet dress and then the final readiness firing, where we fire those 9 engines on the stage 1 ahead of launch.
Proxima sea level and vacuum final engine chill has begun.
There, that final engine chill down, so we can protect those engines from those really cold and hot temperatures, as the sub-chilled propellant is quite cold and could induce thermal shock.
Stage 1 fuel load is complete. Replenish valve has opened.
Alright, there we have that fuel loading completed of that stage 1.
Stage 2 fuel load complete. Replenish valve is open.
Alright, coming up soon on the count we have FTS checkouts, where we make sure those FTS charges are functioning correctly and making sure we're getting strong signal from them, so in case something were to go wrong, they would detonate the vehicle. Of course, we still have the safety pins in the vehicle, which means even if they were commanded to detonate, they would not. And we do have a big red warning on our app saying that the pins are in.
Test checkouts.
So that is just another safety measure here to protect our ground crews from an accidental push of the big red button.
RCS testing underway.
Of course, now we have that RCS testing. Although we do not have much RCS on the first stage, we do have a quite significant amount on the second stage, which basically uses the excess pressure from the tanks and vents it in a controlled manner to save us just venting it wastefully.
ALS and GLS have been powered on for test. Nominal data. Final weather check shown green. Vehicle systems are switching to internal power. Ground gas closeouts have started.
Now those ground gas closeouts which help pressurize the vehicle, and yeah, those closeouts have started, which means we are closing the valves off the vehicle and getting ready for that strong back retract at T-minus 5 minutes.
Guidance system has been turned on for testing purposes only. Nominal data.
Alright, so now we are using that guidance system, simulating a real launch with it. Of course, as the vehicle is not flying, we are just sending simulated data into it on what the vehicle may appear to be.
Stage 1 and 2 pogo bleed procedure has started.
Now we have completed that started that pogo bleed procedure where we condition the engines to try and avoid as many oscillations as possible, as that could lead to combustion instabilities and destruction of the nozzle of the engine.
For RCS testing and TVC checkouts have been completed. Nominal checkout. All restricted areas have been cleared for today's testing phase. Stage 1 and 2 tanks pressurizing for the testing.
There, those tanks are now pressurizing. Coming up on strong back retract soon at T-minus 5 minutes. We should see that on our screen, and hopefully it does retract.
Strong back has retracted to 87.5 degree pre-launch position. Arms for full retraction.
We just heard that call out that a strong back is retracting, although it does not have visual confirmation on screen.
Skybound is on internal power. Hold on. Countdown now.
And there it does look like those mission controls have finally picked up on that strong back has not retracted. Awaiting confirmation from them.
This is LD on countdown 1. Strong back has failed to retract. We are working to release the clamps as we speak. On my mark, recycle to 5 minutes 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, mark.
And there we go. We have recycled. Hopefully that strong back will now retract this time.
Strong back has been retracted to 87.5 degrees pre-launch position.
There we had a momentary loss of signal there we switched over some cables there. Sorry about that, but now everything is well, and we have that strong back properly retracted at T-minus 4 minutes for this wet dress rehearsal.
Engines are priming for flight.
Like I mentioned before, we have not armed the FTS, as we still have those ground safing pins in there. So while we may say they are armed, and the vehicle thinks they are armed, they will not detonate under any circumstances, as there is a physical blocker blocking the connection.
ALS and GLS have taken over the cap.
And there we have those ALS and GLS, which are basically some fancier guidance computers on the vehicle, which have now taken over the count. We do take over the count quite early on Skybound to give it some chance to troubleshoot some issues. So do not be surprised if we enter another hold here, because one of the automated systems kicks us
Have been pressurized to flight level. This is LD on countdown 1 for the final go-no-go pull for test. Range, go. Propellant, go. Propulsion, go. Copy. Go over to today's testing phase.
Alright, we may be entering another hold here as one of those automated systems have just kicked us out, waiting for missing control to confirm. I do believe we are in a hold.
Hold. This is LD. We got kicked out of the ALS systems due to the flight computers powering off because the batteries were not charged completely. So they're currently working to reboot that system. This is LD. This is LD. We are going to recycle count at T minus 2 minutes, 30 seconds on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark. T minus 2 minutes, 30 seconds. High flow purge has started. Proxima engines are primed and chilled for flight. Stage 1 and 2 are fully loaded. Replenish valves have closed. Pushback has started. Vehicle has correct flight trajectory. Flight data now logging. Proxima engines are go for flight. Igniters are armed. Go for ignition at T minus 3 seconds. T minus 1 minute. Skybound is in startup. Flight computers have taken over the count. Final status check. Propellant, go. Range, go. Propulsion, go. Copy. Go for today's test. We will hold at T minus 3 seconds. T minus 5 seconds before ignition, and we will hold for approximately 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Proxima engines are configured for test. Skybound is configured for flight. Go for test. T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Hold, hold, hold. Holding for 2 minutes, 30 seconds. All systems are nominal. All systems are nominal. Pressures are at good levels. No holes in the tank. Vehicle systems are nominal. Tanks and fuels are holding at nominal pressures. Detank procedure in 45 seconds. Systems are nominal. We're going to begin detanking procedure. All systems were nominal during this WDR. Detanking procedure has started. No holes or punctures found in the tanks. Nominal data.
Alright, folks, that'll basically wrap us up for today. We've made a good test of the Skybound vehicle today. All systems are nominal. We will look over the data, and if we find any reason to roll it back, we will. But it may be on the pad for the next 1 week ahead of its flight. We have one more test to go, and that will be the static fire. I've been your commentator today, Aviation. We thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again next time.